We have a house on 1435 Montcalm Street. Let's see, I'll rephrase that. We had a house at 1435 Montcalm Street.
Mike, is this your first house move?
My first house move.
How's it gone so far?
Excellent.
Great.
On Wednesday, July 14th, we moved the house that was on at 1435 Montcalm Street to its new location at 1450 Rembrandt Street. It's about a block away, and it's right across the street from the house that Walt and Pam Seal live in. So 1435 Montcalm is where Action has spent most of their time working in Indianapolis the last 2 summers. I was leading the Action crews for those summers of work. When we first got the house, it was in pretty rough shape. We gutted the whole house, changed the layout a little bit so that it was more suited for a common life together. We finished the house in fall of 2009, and the Campus Women's Household moved in. We were approached by a company who was developing some student housing for IUPUI, and they wanted to use the whole block of Montcalm Street for the student housing. Instead of offering to buy the house and tear it down, offered to pay us to move the house so that they can use the land. It took about 3.5 hours to get the house from point A to point B. So it took the rest of the day, probably another 6 hours, in order to slide the house over the basement foundation. The Action team took the first half of the day off so that they could watch the house move, and Trish Brewer suggested making a cake that was shaped like a house with wheels on it. The neighbors came over and were eating cake and talking with us about what we were up to on campus at IUPUI and what the People of Praise is doing in Indianapolis. It's been a joy to work with all of the Action teams over the past 2 years on the house and see all of the hard work that they put into the house. And us moving the house is a way of People of Praise affirming all of that work that we've done for the last 2 summers.